Hello, I'm Demi Utley, the founder here at Utley Strategies, and today I'm here to talk to you about storytelling in your proposals. Now, you're very likely not a writer by trade, and even if you are, you're probably not here to learn about storytelling and novel writing techniques, so don't worry, that's not what I'm going to be talking about today. No, I want to focus on storytelling in proposal writing, because this is a great way to start to connect with the buyer and incorporate more of the customer and their experience and their perspective into your proposal, which is a great way to make your proposal stronger and more engaging for the buyer and ultimately win more projects. So studies have shown that humans are more likely to remember things told to them in story form rather than any other type of information. So whether it's data or any other way that you present your information. So if you can tap into this storytelling that we're naturally hardwired to understand and resonate with, then you're going to make your proposals even more engaging and memorable and more persuasive for the customers. So let's go ahead and get started and take a look at how exactly you can do that. So if you're not familiar with it, at its most basic level, all stories have three main elements. So those are the setup, the conflict, and the resolution. These three elements are the perfect starting point for incorporating storytelling into your proposals. So let's look at each of these in just a little bit more detail. Up first, we have setup. So the setup of your proposal story is basically where you're setting the stage for what life looks like right now for the customer. So here you'll talk about, their current process, their structure, any systems that they're using. And of course, this is going to vary depending on your exact solution and who your customers are and what they're buying. But just think of the setup as what is it that they are experiencing right now? What does their environment look like? What are they using? What do they have in place? And all of those things. So you'll include just a quick overview of this, depending on the length of your proposal. It could be anywhere from just like a couple sentences to maybe a couple paragraphs. And you'll include that in something like the cover letter, the executive summary, maybe in your solution overview, or if you have like an introduction section or something like that, that's where you'll incorporate this setup information. And you might also include it in other sections as well, based on how you structure your proposal and key differentiators, but those are the main sections where I would recommend you include the setup information. Next storytelling element we have is conflict. So the conflict portion of your proposal encompasses all of the triggering events and the pain points that are pushing the customer to start seeking outside help. So to introduce conflict into your proposal, you should touch on those key pain points, issues that they might be facing, any challenges that they're currently experiencing, anything that's happening as a result of their current state that's really driving them to want to work with someone else. So for example, let's say that you sell websites and you want to, create a new website for this customer, and their current situation is they're on an very old website, we'll say, and for some reason right now it's hard for people to register for events or maybe get in touch with a customer. There's just some issue with their website. So the conflict is that they have these people who want to reach out to them, who want to buy from them or engage with them in some way, but their current website is not enabling them to do that. So that's what they're facing right now. They have these goals that they want to accomplish, but it's not helping them to actually get there. So whenever you're thinking about the conflict for your customer, sort of keep that in mind with, okay, well, what are they looking at right now? And what's preventing them from getting that? And that's where the conflict comes in. So to touch on the conflict in your proposal, I would also include this in places like the cover letter and executive summary. They're just great for storytelling. And you'll introduce those either alongside the setup or just after the setup. And then you can also include it in really any section where you want to draw attention to their pain points and their challenges that they're currently facing. So definitely in the solution overview, maybe in your team section, depending on how you're selling and all of that. So just make sure that you're incorporating the conflict throughout that's really speaking to their specific pain points and what they want to accomplish to show that you understand the conflict that they're facing. And then the last storytelling element that you can incorporate is the resolution. So the resolution part of your proposal is basically where you present them what they can do to fix this. So you can think of this as the happy ending of the proposal. So I would recommend that you introduce the resolution alongside any conflict. So you say the conflict, this is what you're facing, and then you present, okay, well, this is how we're going to help you avoid this in the future, or this is how our solution helps you to overcome this. So another example would be if, say, the current challenge that the customer is facing is that they have like a 3-week approval process for some reason internally. And whenever they work with you or they use your solution, you can reduce that down to 1 week. So 1/3 the time that they're currently taking. So I would include that in your proposal whenever you're talking about that 3-week turnaround pain point, and then just give a quick overview of how exactly you can do that to show like, hey, there is another way and we can help you to make this a reality. So whenever you do that, this starts to position your organization as an expert who can help them to, solve the problems that they're facing, and shows that you really understand and help them to overcome those existing challenges or the situation that they're in currently. So as you can see, as you start to incorporate more and more of these storytelling elements, then your proposals will naturally become more customer focused, which is the ultimate goal and the ultimate way to start winning more and more projects. So that's all that I had for you today. I just want to give you a very quick overview of storytelling in proposals. If you'd like more of a deep dive into storytelling, then make sure you check out our Persuasive Proposals course, which has more information on that, as well as other writing techniques for your proposals. I'll link to that below this video. And I will also be sharing more tips on this channel, so make sure you go ahead and subscribe. Feel free to leave comments if you have any questions, and I will see you in a future video.